I just binged all the episodes today. What a fascinating character to be a part of. Real crazy, really good.
Good. I've seen 3, so I'm excited. That's good to hear.
Wait till you see the later ones. It's going to be interesting.
I assume it's gonna get interesting, just based on what we did. Anyway,
Well, tell us a little bit about how your character gets intertwined with Eve, of course, Mrs. Fletcher.
right. Well, we meet in community college, and Julian, end up there because in high school and it's not really fully discussed. It's kind of gone into more detail in the book, but in high school I went through basically a depressive episode, a really bad depressive episode, and kind of shattered any chance I had at getting into college because I didn't really, couldn't do it. And so finally I got on the right medication, and I'm trying to kind of regroup and get my life together, and community college is the way to do that. And Eve's son, Brendan, was a major factor in my depressive episode, because he's a jerk, to me at least. So we meet.
Well, Eve and Brendan, oddly enough, while Brendan put you down and caused you to have that breakdown, Eve picks you up.
Right.
What is it about Eve specifically that really helps your character and brings you back to life in some ways?
She's different than anyone I know. I think Julian is like 45 on the inside. He's like an old man trapped in, or not old, but like he's an older guy trapped inside the body of a 19-year-old who's, clueless about some things and hasn't had a lot of experiences like some people, but because of this thing that he's been through of his depression, he's got a lot more maturity than, most people he meets at school. And, I'm not sure about the anyway, that's what.
So I also want to ask you a little bit about how portraying someone that has these mental health issues, how seriously you took that and into the research that you did about what's going on with kids right now.
Pretty seriously. There's a lot of reading. I have a really nice kind of advantage with stuff like this because my dad is in psychology. He's a mental health guy. I don't know the correct term, but he'll watch this and be like, oh my God. But I can be like, hey, what do you have that's like clinical, scientific papers on this issue or this drug or, whatever. And so it involves a lot of just kind of reading and then talking to people who've been through that or watching people who have been through that talk about their experiences. And it's a big thing with especially people my age. I mean, with everybody, but I think there's a TED Talk that this guy Andrew Solomon, who wrote a book called it's like an atlas of depression. It's The Noonday Demon, and the TED Talk is called The Secret We All Share. It's like So there's a lot of it, and it's not something to laugh at.
Well, lastly, I know that, the book actually is only a small chunk or they only really address a small chunk of the book in the show. So what specifically, after you read the novel, did they leave out for your character that really helped you understand the character?
Well, so we get up to a certain point in the show, and then after that, there's like this sort of pull that Julian's feeling to continue this thing that he has with Eve, and he's it's like he's so adamant about it, and it's so like obvious magnetic force for him that he's like getting like ill. He's like over, not really, but like that's the kind of magnitude of the attraction and chemistry. So that informed a lot, just like the depth of feeling that he has. And then after that, Julian goes off to college, and who knows what happens after that. But
All right, me and Mrs. Robinson's situation, you know, you never know.
yeah, yeah, who knows.